So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of ZGN Talks, and today we will be talking about why competition is bad and why you will lose. Now, real quick again, before we get into this video, go ahead and smash that like button for us. It really helps out with the algorithm and growing our YouTube channel.
So Peter Thiel has this really good quote, and essentially goes like this: competition is for losers. And off the bat, this sounds a little bit counterintuitive, as people in economics and other, like, basically studying anything around business, you're taught to think that competition is good. And, Peter Thiel kind of has a different contrarian approach on this. Competition definitionally means that you're competing against other firms for market share. At the end of the day, if you are competing for market share, it usually means other competitors, and usually you're not winning. And all monopolies claim to be competitive in order to get out of regulation, while all competitive businesses claim to get monopoly in order to raise funds and attract investors. But when you get down to the core of the economics, when you're competing, what you're really doing is competing away all the profits. It's a race to the bottom. Your goal when you're in business is to really be in an industry where there's not a lot of competition and you have really big margins. And when you're competing and you're in a really competitive field, like I said, you just end up competing away all the margins and all the profit.
So now going ahead and diving specifically into the whole profit part. So as Emiliano mentioned, more competition equals less profit margins. Whenever you enter a market that has more competition, you and other businesses will go ahead and actually be competing with one another. And what that will lead to will be diminished returns over time. So an example of this is from our Amazon business. Now, anyone can go ahead and sell on the Amazon marketplace, but because a lot of people are diving into the Amazon marketplace because there aren't a lot of barriers to entry, which we will be speaking about shortly, that forces people to be competing over the same products. We as sellers could be selling a piece of tape. There could be 20 others trying to sell that same piece of tape. And pretty much because of that, we won't be able to optimize our profits. Similar in San Francisco, California, there are a lot of people opening up restaurants. One restaurant could be Mexican, another restaurant could be Chinese. That doesn't matter. If someone asks you, how do you differentiate your restaurant from others? Oh, my food comes from a different part of the world. Doesn't matter. It's still a restaurant. You will still be competing with one another. And in fact, when it comes to this, that's not the whole idea of starting a monopoly. So you may be wondering, how do I monopolize a business? Well, that starts off with barriers to entry and how easy someone can actually jump in and take you out of business.
So like Mitch mentioned, we've been progressing from, more competitive businesses all the way to, more monopolistic and less competition, but higher profit margins. For instance, Mitch and I started doing Shopify forwards, then we went to Instagram pages, then we went to eBay selling, then went to Amazon selling. And now, we're kind of starting to venture into tech and startup space where, the margins are a lot higher and there's a lot less competition. And to put in perspective, the average business owner margin in America is about 10%. And to also put in perspective, Facebook's gross margin is around 82%, which is absolutely ridiculous. And the reason for this disparity and this difference in profit margins is because Facebook is a monopoly. They have no competitors. Sure, there's Twitter, there's, Snapchat, there's Instagram, which is owned by Facebook. But at the end of the day, there's not really a platform that is like Facebook. They have a very limited pool of competitors, and those platforms are all a little bit different. So as you can see, usually, almost always, the less competition you have, the more profitable the business.
So now diving into personal experiences, as you know, Emiliano and I have many of our ventures inside the e-commerce space. With our most recent ones, which we still do, is selling on Amazon. Now, before you actually go ahead and start a business that you plan to monopolize, you need to understand business, you need to understand business fundamentals, and you need to have a successful track record, because starting a business that you will be able to monopolize from scratch, chances of that are close to none. So pretty much what we did with Amazon is we learned business concepts. Now, it's more than just buying low, selling high, or selling high, buying low. It's more than just starting a store, doing product research. No, we had to learn how to create systems, for example. We had to learn how to hire employees, outsource certain parts of the business, because that is what allowed us to optimize and skyrocket our growth numbers.
Yeah, pretty much from every single business, like I said before, we pretty much reinvest into something that's less competitive and has more profit margins. Like went eBay to Amazon, and we're planning to go Amazon into tech, and we have also this YouTube channel that we also do.
Exactly. So as you know, many people are selling on Amazon. Anyone can go ahead and create an account. Many people could actually start a business if you're 18 plus. Barriers to entry to that are not high, but because now we've been able to master cash flow, creating consistent cash flows from certain businesses, understanding business fundamentals, understanding operations, marketing, finance, all through our e-commerce ventures, we are now actually able to take that and reinvest our capital, time, and connections into starting a business, which is in the startup and tech space, which we actually plan to go ahead and monopolize.
Yeah, pretty much the core message we're trying to get at is if you are going to go into business, it's not always the best idea to go straight from monopoly off the bat. You know, it's definitely not what Mitch and I did. But essentially what you want to do is you want to learn the systems, you want to learn the fundamentals, you want to learn the concepts before you start going to more complex businesses.
This probably goes against what you've been taught your whole life. You know, you need to look at your competition, you need to beat it. Now, this may be different in sports when it comes to basketball. Say it's the Warriors and the Lakers. The Lakers are getting really good players, the Warriors are not. You know, the Warriors might want to start seeing what the Lakers are doing, what kind of players they have. That's completely different. But when it comes to actual business, the reason many businesses fail, aside from not having the right systems in place and not being able to create a demand for their products, is they pretty much hop into a dark hole where a bunch of other businesses are fighting over the same dollar bill. Instead of actually starting a business that differentiates yourself from the crowd, most businesses go ahead and open stuff like a restaurant, another car dealership, selling used cars, something anyone can do, something many people do. And over time, as you look at these businesses, you could see that they're experiencing diminishing returns. Even to back that up for our Amazon business, we've noticed that people that have been selling on Amazon for the longest amount of time, their profits are fine. And even for some of them are even growing. And even if they're dropping, it's barely any. But people that are currently getting into the Amazon marketplace, their returns aren't going to be the same as those that started way back, because again, competitive businesses experience diminished marginal returns over time. And that is why it's completely fine to go ahead and start a cash flow business such as selling on Amazon, eBay, Shopify. That's fine. Learn how to capitalize on cash flow, learn business concepts, and then again, take those skills and reinvest that into something new.
What you really want to be doing is investing into something bigger. You want to keep going to the next big thing, to the next big thing, to the next big thing until you get where you want to be.
So yeah, guys, if you got any value out of this video at all, go ahead and smash that like button. Also, go ahead and comment what you thought about this video if you enjoyed it. Again, our Instagrams are down in the description below. Feel free to contact us with any questions that you may have. And yeah, hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Adios.